Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift, your home for everything that goes bump in the dark, and your fan stories told right here. Today's story comes from Austin, and it is titled A Farm in Arcadia. Now, before we dive into tonight's story, I've got a little something to share with my fellow time travelers. Want to step up your paranormal game? Need more chills, thrills, and unexplained phenomena? Well, you're in luck. By joining the Paranormal Nightshift Patreon, you'll get exclusive early ad-free access to episodes, letting you jump straight into the spooky without any interruptions. As an example, it's kind of like skipping this ad you are listening to right now. But wait, there's more. Our Patreon members get first dibs on our latest ebook series, Paranormal Time Traveler. Follow our time-traveling investigator as they venture back to the creepiest corners of history to uncover listener-inspired mysteries. It's your ticket to an extra dose of the supernatural, inspired by you, our incredible night shifters. New episodes drop every Friday evening, with some surprise releases sprinkled in, so make sure you're tuned in and ready. Visit our Patreon link in the description, or head to patreon.com/paranormalnightshift. Join the Paranormal Nightshift family, where every twist and turn is only the beginning of the journey. All right, let's dive into tonight's story. The musty scent of old wood and dust motes dancing in the slivers of sunlight piercing through the faded curtains. That's my first memory. Not of my mother's face, not of the warmth of a summer's day, but of bone-chilling cold. I was swaddled in blankets, layers and layers of them, but it felt like I was lying naked on an ice floe. My cries, desperate and unending, were met with the hollow echo of the ancient farmhouse. Icicles clung to my eyelashes, my tiny fists clenched in a futile attempt to ward off the freezing air. It was the middle of summer in Wisconsin, the kind of heat that hung thick and heavy in the air, making even the slightest movement a chore. Yet, in my nursery, a small room attached to my parents' bedroom, it was the dead of winter. Frost crept up the walls, delicate patterns like frozen ferns, a stark contrast to the sweat beading on my parents' foreheads just a few feet away. There was no door separating the rooms, just an open archway, and the frigid air seemed to be contained within an invisible barrier, a pocket of Arctic chill in the sweltering heat. My parents, bless their hearts, were baffled. They piled on blanket after blanket, but nothing seemed to penetrate the icy grip that held me captive. My father, a man of practicality and logic, was reduced to whispering prayers and old wives' tales, hoping to appease whatever malevolent force had taken up residence in my tiny room. My mother, her face etched with worry, would spend hours rocking me, her warmth the only solace in that frozen wasteland. As I grew older, the cold remained. It became my constant companion, a chilling reminder of the unseen forces that lurked within the walls of our old farmhouse. But it was just the beginning. The house, a sprawling relic of the 1800s with 7 bedrooms that were more like glorified closets by today's standards, was a hotbed of paranormal activity. One of my earliest memories, aside from the constant chill, was of the kitchen faucet turning on by itself. It started subtly, a drip here, a trickle there, but soon it would be gushing, a torrent of water flooding the old porcelain sink. My oldest brother, ever the brave one, would march into the kitchen, his face set in determination, and wrestle the faucet closed. But no sooner had he turned his back than it would be on again, full blast, as if mocking his efforts. Then there were the noises. Every night at precisely 3 a.m., the silence would be shattered by the sound of a raucous crowd. It wasn't a distinct conversation, more like a cacophony of voices, a room full of people chattering and laughing, their words indistinguishable. The sound emanated from the living room, downstairs from our bedrooms. My father, his sleep disturbed by the nightly commotion, would stomp to the top of the stairs, flip on the light switch, and the noise would cease abruptly. Not fade away, not diminish, but simply stop, as if someone had hit a mute button on the spectral gathering. One day my father ventured into the attic, a vast, dusty space filled with forgotten relics of the past. As he rummaged through old boxes, he heard footsteps approaching from the open doorway. Heavy, deliberate footsteps, like someone walking with purpose. He looked up, expecting to see one of my brothers playing a prank, but there was no one there. The footsteps continued, closer now, the floorboards creaking and groaning under the weight of the invisible intruder. My father, a man not easily spooked, felt a chill crawl down his spine. He abandoned his task and retreated from the attic, the sound of the phantom footsteps echoing behind him. The attic incident prompted my father to seek answers. He paid a visit to the previous owner, an elderly man who lived in a neighboring property. After exchanging pleasantries, my father broached the subject of the strange occurrences in the house. "Has anyone ever died in the house?" he asked, trying to sound casual. The old man chuckled, a dry, rasping sound. "Of course," he said. "That house has been there a long time. A lot of people in the family have died there over the years. They used to have the funerals in the living room." The revelation sent a shiver down my father's spine. It explained the nightly commotion, the phantom crowd that gathered in the living room at 3 a.m. They were the echoes of the past, the spirits of the departed, forever bound to the old farmhouse. We didn't stay much longer. My parents, once neutral about the paranormal, were now convinced that our home was a portal to another realm. They sold off the farm animals, listed the property, and we moved to La Crosse, leaving behind the chilling memories of the old farmhouse. Within a year, we heard that a tornado had ripped through the area, severely damaging the house. It was later used for fire service training, a playground for controlled destruction, until finally it was razed to the ground, its secrets buried beneath the rubble. My time in that old farmhouse was short, but its impact on my life was profound. It shaped my understanding of the world, opened my mind to the possibility of things beyond our comprehension. I don't obsess over the paranormal, but I accept it as a reality, a part of the tapestry of existence. The chilling memories of my early childhood, the frozen nursery, the phantom footsteps, the ghostly gatherings, they are a part of me, a constant reminder that there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in our philosophy. Remember, if you want to support the show, head on over to our Patreon page. Your contributions help us keep the lights on, the stories flowing, and the time traveler fueled up for his next adventure. But hey, if you can't support us financially, no worries. Just sharing the show with a friend or rating us on your favorite podcast platform goes a long way. And if you've got a spooky story of your own, we'd love to hear it. Share it with us right here on Paranormal Nightshift. You never know, your story might just become the next chapter in the Paranormal Time Traveler series and told here on the show. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled for the unexplained, your ears open for the unheard, and your minds open to the possibilities.